Why you always in the mood? I'm acting brand new. I ain't trying to tell you what to do, but try to play it cool.
Welcome back to Bug Between Us Girls. I'm your host Lola and
I'm Etta.
Welcome back everybody. Thank you all who came and subscribed to us this week. We're slowing down a little bit. I don't know what's going on out there. But remember, we want you to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes.
Yes. But thank you all for the people who continue to watch us and send us notes of comments and texts and all those kind of things.
I know, I love it.
Yes. So let's get into our first segment. All right, so remember we got Set It Off, what made us mad, what's good, something we're excited about, say less, something juicy, or fasten your seatbelt. This is not going to turn out well. You want me to do something? Or
Yeah, you do it.
I'm going to go with the set off. The set off. What made me mad? I think people should say less. I know I'm trying to put two comments together. But I think we should have an hour a day when nobody says nothing. And I'm talking about 6-year-olds. I'm talking about babies. I'm talking about people at work.
Yeah.
You can't email me. You can't text me. You can't call me. I don't care what hour, 12 to 1. You can do it 3 to 4. Whatever time you want to do it. I just want people to say less. Just stop it. Like all of these conversations about stuff you can't do nothing about. That's the worst part of it. You know, you can't do anything about it.
No.
But we keep talking about it. And you got to talk about it to the next person and the next person. So that's my set it off.
She set off, y'all.
I am so...
Someone set her off.
I thought about that today and I said if I could I don't even need a whole hour, 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes of nobody asking you anything for any reason.
Good luck with that.
Whew.
I know I don't have the privilege of that ever happening.
That's why I said 6-year-old.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Let's go ahead and move on to our second segment.
Yes.
Which was
On the watch list.
What's on the watch list?
Yeah.
So what you been watching this week?
Paradise. Now, I know people have been talking about it. If you haven't seen it, I believe it's on Hulu. I'm on like episode 8, I think now. But it's kind of like the Truman Show. But you don't really know. You know you exist in this world, though. Truman Show, you didn't know it was make-believe. You know you exist in this world because something happened to America and the whole earth. And it was blown up. And now everybody, only 25,000 people moved to this space. But something interesting happened on it. So the guy who is the lead in it is the black guy from...
Is it like a reality show or is it more like a show?
It's a drama.
It's a drama.
Yes.
Okay.
From This Is Us, he plays the lead, and he's the like the FBI agent for the president. And the president told him, "Hey, your wife shouldn't be traveling to Atlanta so much. You should tell her to stay home." And he's like, I can't tell my wife what to do, but I'll try to run it past her. So he gets home and he goes, "Hey, maybe you should stay." And she's like, "No, I gotta work." And I was thinking, if Dennis came home and said to you, "Hey, I really think y'all ready to go on a trip next month. You shouldn't go." Would you not go? He didn't say anything else. Just that.
I mean, I would want a reason. I need a reason. Like, I can't go with, you shouldn't go. But why? I mean, even if he was like, I have a bad feeling, like something bad's going to happen, like, I could probably accept that. But, like, just coming and saying, like, I don't think you should go. Like, no. Why can't I go? I mean, I need reasons. I
know if somebody came to me and said I shouldn't go, I would say, God got me. No worries.
But I'm also not afraid to like drop plans in a heartbeat. Like if my kids are sick, like and they need their mom to be home, like I'm not going.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is. But luckily,
but that's a reason not to go.
That's a reason. No.
So yeah, if you haven't seen Paradise, you should really check it out. What you been watching on the watch list?
I've watched a lot of things this week, which is crazy. First of all, I'm a huge Love Is Blind fan. Okay, so I watched the reunion. Which is crazy. Y'all
can talk about it in the comment section.
Yes. Let me know your feelings on this Dave and Lauren, okay? Because I can murder that guy. Anyways, And I've also been watching Dr. Watson, which is pretty good. It's like a doctor that uses different technique. And, okay, so America is known for treating symptoms, not figuring out what the reason for you being sick is, and then making sure that doesn't happen again. Like, so anyways, I'll just give you an example. Like, this girl came in with sickle cell. Very easy to fix somebody with sickle cell. He even said it. He's like, sickle cell was great during like when somebody had malaria disease, like back in the day and stuff, like it fought that, but now it just attacks the body.
Right.
But there's a way around it, and it's so simple. So why aren't we doing it? Why are people with sickle cell still suffering till this day if there is some way to cure it?
Right.
So like things like that. It's really, really nice. He is the way he is for a reason. I don't want to give it away. It is really good. It is on Paramount. And then the other thing that we just started 2 nights ago is The Reacher. And that's pretty good too. It's like this badass guy that's like buff 6'2", and he's like in some town and he's being super, how do you put it? Like someone died on the same road that he happened to walk that day.
Oh.
And he was brought into the station as a witness because he just walked there. But turns out he's like this badass ex-military guy that's like used to be in the police force. Like, anyways, it's really good.
Would that be anybody we know who played the lead?
No, I've never seen him before.
I mean,
but he's good looking.
Some of the best shows has people you've never seen before in your life.
He's really
crazy,
good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's on the watch list.
Watch it.
Yes. I'm going in a new segment. I just got into this Instagram person who has questions for your best friend. So I picked one for today.
Way to drop it. Look, she didn't even tell me about this.
So here's the question. I just wrote it down 5 minutes ago. If you saw me yelling at someone on the street, what do you think I'd be losing my cool over? Sorry if y'all hear this in the mic.
What would what would you be
You want me to go first?
losing your cool over? Yeah, you go.
I already know it for Etta. The parking spot. She was waiting for the parking spot and somebody took it. If you know, you know. And she would lose her cool over it. Like, she would go berserk. Like, I've been waiting here and I can't believe you just do that. So, yes, that's what she would be using.
Go ahead. Tell them why you say this. What happened?
So, we were at Columbia Mall, of all malls. I know they having trouble lately. And we were waiting for a parking spot.
Patiently,
And the person backed out. And then this person just came out of nowhere and went right into the parking spot. And Etta drove up a little bit, rolled down her window and said,
"This is how people get shot. Get the out of my spot now."
And that person got so scared. It was a lady with her daughter.
Uh-huh.
And they backed right out of the parking spot. I was like, well, la-di-dee, la-di-da.
And then Kasha goes, "I know you didn't just yell out my side of the window."
Yeah, because I would have been the one shot if they shot back. Ooh, yes. So that would be Etta. It would either be that or somebody did something to one of her kids. Or her kid acting out of control, which usually never happens. But if it did happen, she would lose her cool.
Yeah, so Kasha doesn't lose her cool that much. Yeah. You don't.
I know.
And if she does, it's hidden. Like, she'll go downstairs and like with the pillow. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't lose her cool very often unless, and I'm just going to kind of piggyback off of yours. Like, if she lost her cool, I think it would be because somebody did someone dirty that you love, like your godkids, like, or if you felt any type of like you weren't being treated fairly.
Yes.
Like in any way possible. But again, I feel like even her losing her cool is still super professional. Like, I can't be like that. I can't compose. Everything comes out. Things I don't even mean sometimes. Like, but that's me and that's her.
Yes.
Yes.
That is me.
I like that.
Yeah. Isn't that good?
I mean, you threw me under the bus with that. I had no idea.
Yeah, so we'll do a new one every week. That's our new segment 3. Now, moving on to the last segment. Well, this show is all about relationships. What relationship we're going to cover today?
Religion.
Religion. Whew. You know, people don't usually talk about that to other people. But we're going to talk. Yeah, we're going to talk to you about it. So, you want to start off telling us what your religion is? I guess I thought you should start.
Yeah. So, before I tell you guys what my religion is, I think that if people knew about each other's religions and informed each other of it, at the end of the day, it's super similar. Like, it is super similar. I, for one, studied world religions, and so I have respect for all religions, but the core values of every religion, I think, are the same. Mm-hmm. Again, my opinion, I don't mean to discredit anyone's religion or be any way disrespectful. However, okay, but I am Muslim. Yep, I'm Muslim. What are you?
I'm Catholic, Roman Catholic, Polish Catholic. I can go a couple different ways, but Catholic, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what was your relationship like as a kid with your religion? Like when you think about how you thought of your religion.
Mm-hmm. So my religion, actually, if I'm being completely honest, I have fought with a lot internally because there are some things within my religion that I don't agree with, but as a whole, I love. Okay.
I would say the same thing about Catholic.
Yeah. Like I love my religion. I love its culture. I love that it's stricken me and put me on the right path as it should. Right. But I think I'm also very spiritual. So I come from a household where one parent is super religious and the other one is spiritual. Hence why I'm mixed. I'm bi-religious.
Well, we want to say what our parents was. My mother was Catholic. I'm not sure what her journey on being Catholic was, but, you know, later in life, she was very Catholic. And she worked at a Catholic school. So that way she was very strict and Catholic. My father became Catholic to marry my mother, but he was one of those Catholics that only showed up on Christmas Eve to church. He didn't practice. You know, he was very spiritual, but he did not practice the Catholic faith.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to tell you a difference, like as far as, so I think, like I said, ultimately it comes back to the same place. Like, for example, my mom thinks well, I guess I'm just going to say she thinks, even though like she's supposed to know, right? And the reason why I say that is because how can we really know if that's 1010% right, except for you believing for it to be right, right? So my mom thinks there's a prayer for everything. If you feeling heavy and you got a headache, most likely you got an evil eye on you, there's a prayer. Okay, and our prayers are in Arabic, right? So like we don't really understand what we're saying unless you've studied the translated version. And then, you know, if you're going on a road trip, there's a prayer for that. If you are going into a test, there's a prayer for that, you know? Yeah. My dad, on the flip side, doesn't think that every prayer is focused on one's activity, I guess, right? Like he thinks if you do good, you are good. So you just have to focus on you being a good human being. Be nice to everybody. Give back to your community that needs it. You know, treat everyone fairly, equally, all that stuff. And, you know, be committed to your relationship, be in a good mindset for everything. So that's his belief. If you do all that stuff, heaven is ready. My mom, on the other side, you know, Muslims pray 5 times a day. Now, we don't. Not because we don't want to, it's because life is lifing. But do I know how to? Absolutely. Do I know my prayers? Yes, my mother instilled that at me. You know, you guys have something, I don't know if you or Christianity, Sunday schools, right? Like Turkish people or Muslims don't have Sunday school per se, but they have a school on the weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, where you go to learn your prayers. I grew up going to those classes. So I know, like I got all the way to learning the Arabic alphabet and then I didn't go anymore.
Yeah, for my religion, I can't think of what it's called, but Sunday school is a little different than what she's describing. So because I went to a Catholic school, we had religion classes, which taught the same thing to people who didn't come to a Catholic school. They would come one day out of the week, like in the afternoon, and they would study being Catholic. So Sunday school was a little different. I don't know if Catholics per se have a Sunday school. That might be more like Baptist or something like that. But our children sit in church with us. They don't. Every church I belong to, it may be a Catholic church out there that does that, but that's a little different. So we have this. You have to study it at some point. It's not necessarily on a Sunday.
And then one of the number one things that I struggled with growing up, like amongst friends, like we talked about religion amongst our friends, like my closest clique. And the number one thing that's portrayed with someone who is Muslim is that we don't believe in Jesus, right? Like we have our own prophet who's Muhammad. However, we do believe in Jesus. Jesus is written in the Quran probably as much as Muhammad is. Like, we believe in Jesus. Maybe the way that we believe in Jesus, it might be different than someone else's belief in Jesus. But we think that everybody that has that main person, right, in every religion is a special character that was brought down or was gifted a gift to letting that community know of the factuality of that religion, right? So that person, along with everybody else, is also a child of God, but those were selected specifically to be the messenger of God. So that's, again, my perspective. I don't mean to be any way disrespectful to anyone else's, but I do know that I love all religion. I really do. I love studying religion. I love when someone is talking about religion. It's something that I actually enjoy talking about.
Yeah, and for Catholics, I would say that one of the misconceptions would be that we pray to Mary. We don't necessarily pray to Mary. We give her the respect because we think of her as the mom, as you should give your mom respect. It's kind of learning how to respect your elders through that relationship you have with Mary. It's not really that we pray to her. She just has a special place in our heart.
Yeah, I think the number one thing I also struggled with is my parents were always very open to me going with my friends to a Sunday school weekend thing, or around Christmas going with my friend from high school to her church to watch this play of Jesus, like things like that, right? Like they were always open to it, like because they think I shouldn't be informed of it, right? But at the same time, I think when I attended church with a few of my friends, and again, I don't know what Christian or Catholic, it was probably Christian because I've been to a Catholic church and it's more serious. But like, you know, there's singing and there's dancing and then there's, you know, praying, but they're praying with excitement and all this other stuff. Muslim mosque is completely different. It's completely different. It's actually very hard to teach your child to be Muslim and stay a Muslim when you're Muslim, because we don't have that. It's very serious. It should never be joked around. You don't laugh while you're saying a prayer. You don't dance for sure. Like you don't sing, never. Like, you know, it was very serious. So I think if I could change anything about my religion, it would be to try to teach the younger people how to still respect and show its severity of that religion, but in a funner way. And our way of a funner way is not the way that you should practice. It's very serious.
Yeah, growing up, I ended up in Catholic school, so we have our sacraments that you have to go through each step of. And that was just like school. We didn't dance and all that kind of stuff and sing. And my church sings, but I belong to a couple of churches, and I could do without the singing. I prefer a non-singing mass. When I was in college, I went to a church that had a non-singing mass that I really enjoyed. I love gospel music, but I don't love Christian music, which is a difference. What were we talking about? I just lost my thought.
The strictness.
Oh, so growing up, it was just a lifestyle. You know, my parents were very big on me hanging out with people who shared my religion. So it wasn't any difference going around. Even when I got to public school, I didn't really hang out with people that were not Christian. They might have been Catholic, but they believed in something. So like they might have been Jewish, they might have been Muslim, but they believed in something. I don't remember. I probably didn't get my first person that didn't believe in anything until I was in college. Did you run across anybody like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember exactly who it was, but I do remember them saying that they were an atheist, right? That's what they go by. I don't.
Or maybe an agnostic.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I believe or Scientology.
Yeah, that's
right. That's
different.
another one.
Yeah.
But that's also But anyways, I don't know. Like that one is a little hard for me to wrap my head around. Again, no disrespect to anyone. Whatever you practice and you preach, more power to you. Just personally, I don't think that I could be here without a higher power. But yeah, I ran into someone who was atheist, and I love talking about religion, but I do not ever want to bring it up around someone like that, because I don't want anyone to try to sway me or try to tell me something that I've worked very hard to believe.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. As a child, I loved my religion. I just loved everything about it, being a part of it. The special things we got to do, the mass, the singing, looking at somebody and saying, peace be with you. And they looking at you really trying to, and wishing and hoping that you had peace in your life. I really enjoy that part. So, but at an early age, I also understood that it's a journey that each person kind of goes on by themselves. Your parents can guide you with it, but you need to decide for yourself what you want to follow. My brother became Muslim. I don't know what his connection with Catholic ever was. I just know my connection. They were older than me. And I can remember at one point in my childhood walking to church by myself and going to church. Like nobody else in my family went to church during that period. And so I don't know their journey, but he believed in something, which I think both of my brothers believe in something. And my parents were open for that. They say your journey is your journey. As long as you believe that it's right and wrong, and you need to stay on the right side and not the wrong side. And if you're on the wrong side, be human enough to say, I made a mistake and I can grow from this, then they were okay with it. So I don't think they ever had an issue with even my brother switching over to a different religion. So
that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever have the balls to go and tell my parents that I switched religions. I do not think that whatsoever. But I think they would be okay with me marrying outside to a different religion. Like if my spouse happened to be a Christian or a Catholic, like they would be accepting. Again, like my dad's spiritual. So if you believe in something and you're genuinely and overall a good person, like he loves everybody.
Do you think you ever had a moment when you pulled away from your religion?
Not so much pulled away, but I felt a little embarrassed to be.
Oh, when was that?
Yeah, during 9/11. Yeah, because everybody, the new hate crime was targeted towards Muslims. And I was in middle school. And in middle school or elementary school, you do everything possible to be cool, right? Like, so I never pulled away in the sense that, like, I was always strong on where I stood. Like, I am Muslim. This is me. If anyone asked or didn't ask, I told them. But it was a hard time. Coming as a child where people are like, oh, Etta, you're Muslim. Is your dad a terrorist? I would have to fire back with, yeah, so don't mess with me or I'm going to call Bin Laden.
Oh, my Lord.
You know, like, I don't know what else to do but make it a humor thing. Like, obviously, we're kids. Those kids didn't mean that. I would hope not. But, like,
they just didn't know better.
They just don't know better. That's why I think it's so important that friends should talk about their religion. I remember when Vanessa used to stay with us, and one of our late night conversations always used to be, how's this in your religion? And she'd ask, how's this in your religion? And it was so similar. Like, it was so similar. So anyways, that's what I think.
Yeah, I think the only time I moved away from my religion was after my mother's passing. I didn't even realize I was doing it, but I think I lost faith in the church. And one day I thought to myself, you know, I lost everything and I lost God too.
Mm-hmm.
That was a hard time.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
I think I remember that. And I think that's a natural thing, Kasha.
Yeah.
I think it's totally normal for you to feel that way.
But, you know, now I started back praying every day, and this is the most peace I've had in the last probably 5 years of my life.
Yeah, I remember you
Just,
telling me
you know, direction and motive and knowing what I should be doing. And I think because I was going through so much, you know, you don't know the journey or the path you're supposed to be on because
that. Right.
you're helping everybody on their path to get to where they're trying to get to.
Right.
But now this is the first time in my life where I had direction on exactly what I'm supposed to be doing and where I'm supposed to be going. So, you know, I thank God for that every morning. Yeah.
That's good.
I know. We got to get in here somehow.
I feel like she's really trying to make a special appearance.
Well, this is a religion show.
Anyways.
Well, but that is a great place to stop today's discussion. Again, thank you for all of our followers. Thank you for those who watch it. We really do appreciate it. The phone calls, the texts really do mean a lot to us.
It does.
Yes.
Hold on, before we go. It was so nice to have someone over last week that literally repeated the things we discussed and communicated.
You told me about that.
I love that. I was like, oh my God, okay, so if I get one view, I should be grateful. Because that's really nice that you guys are taking time to listen to us and interact with us and then let us know that you are enjoying it.
Yes, yes. And we got more to come.
Yes.
Because we're still trying to get 500 subscribers.
So please follow, subscribe, like, comment.
And turn in next week too. Bye. Bye, guys.
Why you always in the mood? I'm acting brand new. I ain't trying to tell you what to do, but try to play it cool. Really, I ain't playing.